Hey guys, welcome to FreeSalonEducation.com's podcast, right? Splitting hairs. So I have Brian Hare with me, Thaddeus Boland, Drea Boland, and I'm Matt Beck, and we're here to share with you some things that have come up throughout the week. We got some news from the beauty industry. We also have tips for salon owners. We have things that are coming up with gratitude, and we are also at a big hair show this weekend, so we want to share some stuff that we had going on with that. We're all waking up. We all have a lot of caffeine sitting on the table, getting ready for the salon day. So I want to kick it off. I want to talk about some questions that we had. That's always an easy intro for us. So let's talk about some things that have come up. We have a girl, Katie, who says, "Excuse my ignorance. I'm a fairly new hairdresser," which doesn't make you ignorant at all. "What is the benefit of cutting with the teasing technique? And does it texturing while you're cutting?" Oh, is it texturing while you're cutting? So the answer is the benefit of the teasing technique for me, and then you guys can kind of, give your benefits as well. But for me, I like using it because it's a soft technique. It's going to soften the hair. It's not going to create a really harsh line. And yes, it is going to create a lot of texture. So I like doing that technique because it's a very forgiving way of removing weight, and also, you could still create a structure with it, but it's just a more diffused line. What do you guys think?
I would agree with that statement. I also like to use it on my guests that want like that rock and roll style haircut. I want to be able to scrunch in their hair maybe throughout the day, just like mess up their hair, really just like get in there and be playing with their hair all day. So it'll give you like that nice fun texture as well.
Cool.
I don't do it because it terrifies me watching you guys do it. It looks awesome.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, you can stick to the other ones.
I'll stick with the color.
Okay. All right, cool. What do you think, Drea?
I love it because it does give that fun texture. A lot of people are asking for a really piecey look, but it has the structure like you said, but it gives body, it gives volume, but it also gives fun movement throughout the hair, and it can be a wash and go style, it can be a style you curl, flat iron. It's just very versatile to me. Very
cool. Yeah. And then, so the next question was from Michelle, and this would be a good Brian question. She says, "I use L'Oreal Platinum on the scalp lightener as a thicker and not as so it's not as thick or as runny."
It is thick.
We're going to also have okay.
What I get from this question, she's using this because it's thick and not runny. Is it better because it's thick and not runny?
Right.
For things like balayage, ombre, stuff like that. Personally, I don't like to use really, really thick lighteners for that sort of thing because it's a very light-handed technique anytime you are painting into the hair, and I'm just afraid that a thicker lightener, you have to press harder to really get it to glide over whatever section you're trying to paint, and you don't want to do a lot of pressing because then you're pushing it onto other hair that's going to bleed. So me personally, I don't want something that's necessarily runny, but I don't want thick. I'm thinking like wet toothpaste kind of consistency.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge colorist, but I think for me, anytime you're mixing any kind of lightener, can't you customize how thick you want?
Yeah, most lighteners I've played with it's fine that you can really sit there if you just a little more developer. Some different companies have different things to work with the viscosity of the lightener itself. And I really do think it is better to go on the looser side when it comes to thickness, just because you're more guaranteed.
Okay. All right, cool. You guys have anything to add? You don't have to.
I was going to say, like, if you have questions as to what lightener to use, like before you use it on your salon guest, try it on a mannequin. Like that's always like you're going to be your best bet as far as trying something new.
Yeah.
Because the mannequin's not going to complain if you get it wrong.
Right, exactly.
So
that's true. So, and we have Maria who says, "What do you use for heat protectant?" Let's kick this off to Drea. What are you using for heat protectant right now?
It all depends on what my overall look is going to do. If I'm looking for something with a little bit more structure, I'm going to use a spray that has a little bit more hold. If I just want that sleek, slippery look, then I'm going to use a shine spray with smoothing iron as my heat protectant.
Okay. Anybody else?
I was real happy, like you had said, we had that show this weekend, and I just saw so many people it was just thermal styling. I feel like more than ever this year was a lot less cutting and coloring and a lot more styling.
Yeah.
and we went through so many cans of the hot off the press from Paul Mitchell,
Right.
and it was great. I mean, I saw girls that were getting their hair with completely different styles 4 or 5 times in one day, without washing and starting over, just re-going over with the heat protection, and it was great. I mean, everyone's hair still felt fine, wasn't dried out or damaged or awful feeling by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to be honest. We've worked with Paul Mitchell for a long time, but I think I've yet to find a heat protectant better than hot off the press. It's just not going to happen. If you have one or you know of one and you want to send it to us to try it out, that would be great. But honestly, hands down, we definitely, any video that you've seen so far, we've used hot off the press in that.
True story.
Right? And then another girl, Jeanette, who we've met, who has a blog called hairaffair.co.com. She actually wrote on there, do you mind if I share these videos with my blog readers? And I only put that question on there because no, we do not mind at all. Please, please share everything.
Show it to your mailman.
Share it on Facebook. Share it.
Thanksgiving table. It's fine.
Exactly.
Share away.
Yeah. Pull out that iPad. Show it to everyone. And then the last question was, what scissors do you use? I get this question a lot. Right now, I'm using Casio. It's the KML 55 OS. Basically, it's a 5.5 inch shear or scissor. I really like that scissor. I think it's around $8.99 to buy that scissor. Sometimes you can find deals on them, but I think that's it's one of the most important tools we use. So spending some money on it is a good thing, and I really like that company right now. I've reached out to some other companies. I'm hoping that we can test out some different ones and get more true opinion. I've been using these scissors for probably 2 years now, and I really like them a lot. So you guys are using...
I use fan outs.
Okay.
I think it's a great blade because it's a great company because they have different levels of blades that you can purchase. I have one of their mid-range shears, which I've been using it for about 5 years now, and it stays sharp. It doesn't need to be sharpened very often.
Okay.
It's just a very user-friendly.
Yeah, I'd like to try fan out. I've heard a lot about them,
Yeah.
but I've never held a scissor in my hand. So
I just like my double swivels.
I know.
I'm trying lots of different companies at one time.
It was funny. I was hanging out this weekend at the show, and I was hanging out with my new friend Gareth at Surface, and that company it's like all about swivel scissors, and he was on stage using the swivel scissor, and if you know me, or you'll get to know me, I am not a big fan of swivel scissors, but Brian loves them to death. So I was thinking about you this weekend. It was funny.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So I use Paul Mitchell 5.5s.
Okay.
I think when looking for a shear, I think it's good to always get a good quality shear. I don't want to talk down about any shears, but you guys should all have an idea as to which shears are definitely not good. But if you're going above and beyond with your shears, just making sure that they're nice and sharp. That's really important.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get a good scissor under $300. Just not gonna happen. So I think as long as you're in that range, know where you get them from. Don't get it from the Harley guy that pulls up to sharpen your scissors. Just buy them from a real dealer of scissors, and I think you'll be really happy with them. But just make sure, you can't get great scissors for $50. Don't go on eBay and buy them.
And I also know a lot of the scissor companies are now doing financing on shears.
That's
so
good.
If you are looking,
18% interest.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the interest
Great.
is, but they'll do a payment plan for you if you are looking at purchasing that higher price shear but can't necessarily afford to do it.
And don't forget, it's a tax write-off.
It is a tax
That's what we need
write-off.
for a job. So
Yeah, and we need those as much as possible.
I'm trying to come up with as many excuses as possible to go spend a lot of money on
Yeah.
scissors, because that's what you got to do.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah, just go spend more.
Don't forget, everybody's hands are a different shape. They are going to feel the shears differently. So really make sure that it's comfortable in your hands. So just because it's perfect for me doesn't mean it's going to be perfect for Brian or for Matt.
True
That is
story.
true. That's a true story, bro. All right, I want to get into the Salon Centric show. I want to play a little video. I tried to throw one together, just little highlights of our classrooms from the show. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. cutting. This is not something I created. This is just something we're learning today, right? I don't claim to have created all of this. I can just teach it to you. So here's the deal. As we cut, what we're gonna do is come in and close halfway the scissor. So I'm gonna be pushing the hair and closing as I move in, okay? So when I go in, I don't wanna tease the hair, right? That's rough in the cuticle, it's not looking great, no one's happy with this outcome, right? So as I go in, I'm gonna close the scissor into the hair and actually cut it. So I'm gonna grab the hair, come in here, and just a half close, and work a nice line into the hair, just working that teasing technique. So that's a great trick, but you also got to realize there's another bend and movement here, and here, and here. So there's all different key points of the head that curve and bend. So as I section the head, I have my parietal ridge here, which is a bend. So let's say I'm going to cut a 45-degree angle, right? So this is straight out from the head. So what degree is this? 90, right? So then this is 45, right? But if I keep working up the head, this is no longer 45 degrees, right? What degree is this? If I'm up here, this is 0 degrees, right? Because this is 90, right? Yeah, this is the biggest thing that ever happened in my career, right there. So think about it that way. As I move up the head, my degree changes. So now this is 45 degrees and this is 90 degrees. So if I want to move weight throughout the head and do it with a purpose, that's why we end up with a haircut at the end and we're like dry cut and trying to remove all this extra weight that we built up. We wouldn't have built up that weight if we understood how the head's moving within the haircut.
Grab these sections, whatever size you want. Got the nice thick section here. Again, just riding along this outside of the triangle. So what's good, like what we do in our salon, when a guy's getting color, it's the same price whatever they're getting. Whether we're doing just a couple of these guys just to brighten it up a little bit, or we're doing a little bit of gray blending. And what's good about that for us is it makes it that much easier for us to talk guys into trying something like this.
All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that. A little kind of snippet of our classroom in Edison, New Jersey this weekend at the Salon Centric show. We had a really great time. I don't know, we're gonna kind of go through some things that we did at the show. Thad walked around with a camera strapped to his chest the whole time. So we have some cool footage coming up that we're gonna be able to post on YouTube for everyone. I know Brian was on stage with Paul Mitchell this weekend, and so was Barrett, who is not currently here this morning. She must be sleeping. She's probably sitting in her bed right now watching.
Totally.
Yeah. So
she's just like, hey.
So why don't we talk about, so I guess with gratitude, we had 2 classrooms. So those of you that made it out, we really appreciate it. We had the #1 selling classroom of the whole show. So, I'm really excited because we're just, an education company that's not represented by any product line. So being able to sell out a classroom is really cool at a big show like that. So really appreciate Salon Centric inviting us and letting us teach there. We had 2 classrooms. We had a men's cutting, coloring, and business class, and then we had a dry haircutting classroom as well. So both days were really fun. Had a great time. Walked around the show. The one thing I noticed about the show is just, I'm trying not to go off into a different direction, but with the industry, what it was 8 years ago and what it is now, the level that it was, everything used to be very extravagant, and each booth was huge, and people were putting on shows. And now, I think it was definitely one of those things where Paul Mitchell, when I first jumped on with the company 9 years ago, they kind of twisted everything and brought it into an education environment, which before it was just very extravagant. But they had extravagant and education. Now every company is trying to just do education, but they're trying to do it in the wrong place. I think when you're on a stage like that and people are shopping and walking around, it's not necessarily the place. They need to get in the salons that these people come from and teach them there. And I think that's where Paul Mitchell became a great company, was they were in salons every day teaching. And now you have all these companies that all they're trying to do is educate you at a hair show when it's loud. Everyone's competing with the sound, and it's just not the same environment. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but that was what I got from the weekend, was just, I wish it would go back to, let's put on a show at the shows, teach what we can teach, but inspire people to do cool different techniques, and then go back into their salon and actually educate them.
I agree. It's fun watching different people try to strike that balance between entertaining and education, and it's fun for us to try to do ourselves.
Right.
When you go up on stage, you want to be inviting and intriguing so that people stop and want to stay for more than just 2 minutes, but you want to give them something. You don't want to just be talking, telling a funny story. You want to educate at the same time. And I think one of the big things that I noticed this weekend, it's kind of a fun thing to look at as far as what the industry is and where it's going. Sunday was predominantly just hairdressers there, and Monday was all of the students. Yeah. And you could just feel the energy so much different. And I know it's always a little bit more exciting and energetic because the students are really excited about everything. But I think that's just so telling of where the industry is going. That it was a flood of people that are dying to learn and just want to soak everything up. And the people that have been in it for a while are kind of ho-hum about education, but they might want to get their game on, because there's a lot of people on their tails that are willing to learn every single day. So. Yeah,
the vibe from Sunday to Monday was so crazy. There was nobody there Sunday.
Right.
Nobody at the show at all. And you're walking around. We parked like rock stars. You're 2 minutes away any time of the day. And then I get there Monday, and my classroom wasn't until 12:30, so I got there around 10 o'clock. And I seriously was the very back last parking spot. It took me 10 minutes to walk to the show. It was just flooded, and that's not including the buses that pulled up and dropped off the kids. I call them kids, but there was so many people at the show on Monday, and the energy, and just it's cool. That's the feeling that it used to be every single day of a hair show. It used to be like that. So it's really cool. I mean, there was great people there on Sunday. We had a great classroom, and there were dedicated people. The people that were there are great, but just the vibe that you get when it's so packed. I mean, every booth on Monday was packed full of people.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because on Monday, even the stylists that weren't fresh out of school or weren't attending school, who had been out of school for 10, 20, 30 years, on Monday, they were just so much more dedicated to learning. I'm not saying that we didn't have people on Sunday that were dedicated to learning.
Right.
But just when you would go out and talk to people about what we're doing, you had such a different feeling and such a different feedback from people. People were excited when I would go up to talk to them about free salon education.
Yeah, and that goes into our job this weekend. Brian and Barrett were up with Paul Mitchell, but me, Thad, and Drea were really running around handing out flyers to promote. It was kind of like we were in this old school punk rock band or something. And I guarantee we were not supposed to be there handing out flyers for a company that didn't pay to be there, but it was cool because it's there was only maybe 2 people in the whole entire show both days of the weekend that we said, would you like free education? And they said no. there was 2 people that were like, would you like free education? Oh, no, thank you. I'm like, really?
I only pay for it.
Yeah, I'm only here for the money. So yeah, all right, cool. What do you guys?
Tax deductions.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, first off, I do want to say to all the ladies and gentlemen that waved to the GoPro, we have not edited that video yet, so there will be more to come. So you guys.
Did you tell them to watch you today?
I said to watch the YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and keep an eye out for themselves. So I just wanted them to know
you
that
will get there.
If they get through this podcast and see that they're not on it, that we didn't forget about you. That you guys will be out on
There's
YouTube.
people at home that are so upset with you right now.
Don't be upset with me. I'm not the editor. I sent the message.
Ouch.
Wow, he
That's
just threw me
that
right under the bus.
Wow.
All right.
But no, like we definitely got a lot of positive feedback on like the free salon education. A lot of people who are looking forward to seeing them in classes and seeing like what they did with all the videos that we're posting.
Well, and I have to say too, like Thad might be the best promoter I've ever seen in my life. Like he has no shame whatsoever.
None.
He is walking around the show. He's got a camera strapped to his chest, and he's just handing out flyers. He handed out 600 flyers throughout the whole two days, which is pretty insane. And it's cool because then we get to turn that into, did people start to like our Facebook? And we did. We have people jumping on. We're getting more views on everything, and we have a lot more likes on Facebook, so it's working out. So, sometimes when you're that person, when you think about even just working in the salon, when you're that person that just wants to sit in the salon and not go out and promote yourself, well, it helps. Like you might hand out 600 flyers and get 3 people, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it. So, I appreciate you doing that.
That was fun.
And me and Dre were just watching all the hair.
Yeah, I kept on running up and be like, "Hey, do you have more flyers?"
Yeah, he just kept taking our flyers.
What about getting more business cards? Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about what. Do you want to share anything about being up there with Paul Mitchell? I know you guys had a big weekend, so.
Just I guess quick recap. It was just a lot of fun. I worked a lot with the men's line this weekend, which is always fun. I enjoy demystifying men's cutting, especially I feel like on Monday, because I know when I was in school, men's cutting was something that scared me to death.
Yeah.
So it's fun to do that kind of stuff with so many students around or freshly graduated people around, just because it's always nice to make someone feel a little bit more comfortable with something that they're scared of.
Yeah.
Barrett was absolutely amazing. She did some phenomenal upstyling, working with the new neuro tools. The whole team. I mean, we really just sort of came together to become one and just tackle whatever got in our way or whoever. And
trust me, at a hair show, there's a lot that gets in your way throughout the
yeah.
day. So, most of the time it looks pretty good up there, and it looks great up there, but you don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. And when you get that many hairdressers in a room trying to put together, it's a lot of leaders, trying to put everything together and get everything going. So it's cool to see the outcome.
Yeah, I was proud. We had a great time. We had a lot of fun. We enjoyed seeing everything that everyone else was bringing to the table, and then have our own thing to put with it. It was really fun.
And your booth, I mean, Monday with all the students there, it's like you can tell where they flock to, So it was really cool to see that. All right, so let's go into some industry news that we have here. We got some celebrity hair changes, which I definitely want to hit on those. But some things in the industry, there was 2 things that really kind of sparked my attention. I want to talk about. We actually have a tool here that I want to review, and it's the Paul Mitchell Neuro tool. It was a big shower this weekend. It's upside down. Not that they could tell that, anyways, but the Paul Mitchell Neuro Smooth. So I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna have them go through. They definitely know a lot of the details of that iron. So since Drea has in her hand, you can kind of say what you like about it in the salon and how it kind of helps you out. And we have the box for that thing too.
Oh yeah, we do have the box.
Nice hit on the leg. Thaddeus.
That's too bad.
Hey, let me see that box real quick.
Okay.
Let me see if I can show it in a different camera view here. But we have the Paul Mitchell Neuro Smooth, and
Yeah.
from Canada now, I guess.
Yeah.
So the Neuro Smooth, I wish it looked like the box, but it works. Like I have no iron I've ever used in my life, so I do really, really like this iron a lot. Set that there. But so Drea, why don't you go over things that you like about it?
So one of my favorite features on it is you can not only set it to the temperature to your hair type and texture, but it also has a timer on it. So for your guests at home, if they forget to turn off their iron, it's going to automatically shut off after a certain period of time.
Yeah, which who hasn't done that?
And that's customizable too.
And it's customizable. Everything about this iron is customizable, which I think is really cool. So it really is a one-size-fits-all type of a product. Because I know I leave my flat iron on all the time at home. I'm constantly calling home and be like, can you guys double check that I'm not going to burn the house down?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a great feature on there.
Yeah, and it also heats up in 30 seconds, which to me is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because who has time to sit and wait for their iron to heat up in the salon?
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a good benefit for being a stylist, is that it heats up really fast.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to sell this iron is actually turn it on and start to go over the features about how you have your customizable heat settings, where it's fine, medium, coarse, or professional, which everybody at home, if you're not a professional, that does not mean that you get to use it just because you bought the iron. You might find that you're not helping yourself. So don't be at home.
Just in case you were ever thinking that you wouldn't be able to use this iron because it says professional in a setting, you can.
No, I'm saying just because you have this iron at home,
yes,
and you're in a rush, don't think that you can use the professional setting.
Oh, don't think you can use it.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Sorry about that. It's not going to be beneficial to your hair. If you have fine hair, if you have platinum hair, use the fine and gentler settings. You don't need to use 450 on your hair. It's still going to smooth it out as if you're in the salon. So.
Okay.
And by the time I'm done talking to my guests, I'm like, and we're at whatever temperature I set it for.
Yeah.
Like, so if I set it for 360, it's already there, and they're like, I can't believe that's already there. So.
I think what is also cool is at the show this weekend they were going over some of the other benefits of the NeuroSmooth, and it's checking the heat setting on it 50 times per second, which...
That's what I was going to say.
Just took it.
I'm sorry.
I think the Bullens have hit every key point.
Pretty much. I think the biggest thing is that it also... It's good because it's easy to sell to hairdressers for certain reasons, and it's good to sell to guests for certain reasons, because for hairdressers, what you're saying, the heat checking 50 times a second is great, because like if you've got really, really long hair, as you start at the root, the plates aren't going to cool down by the time you get to the end, because it's constantly making sure that it's at whatever temperature you got it at. So I guess that didn't really make sense to me until I started using it, and I had my one guest, you guys saw that Sunday afternoon, Sarah. She's got really coarse, thick, long hair, and it was one of those where really I could have done it in one if I had gone slower, but I'm impatient, so I ended up having to do it in 2 passes, and it just gave her the like crazy silky, just insanely straight. It made her hair look like I had just done a keratin treatment on her, and all I did was just run a smoothing iron through it.
Yeah. Yeah, we have, you're talking about the video that you did, too?
Yes.
So the smoothing video, you use this iron as well. So if you check out our YouTube channel, you can see that. He uses it on a guest, and it's really beautiful. It looks really nice. Okay.
Sure.
And I honestly, if I had to pick a couple things that I really like about it, I like how fast it heats up. Honestly, you can watch it, the temperature raising on the LED screen. And, just being able to adjust it to your guest's hair type is, definitely the great benefits for me. It's a very simple iron. I like that it's not, overcomplicated. There's not too many. I know there's like some touchscreen tools out there, but they're just overdone. It's too much. It's not an iPad. It's not what this is. We're not trying to make it an iPad. It's just what type of hair they have. Let's heat it up quick and make it easy for hairdressers. And I think Paul Mitchell did a great job with that.
Agreed. I can't check my Facebook from this screen.
You cannot check your Facebook from your iron yet. I'm sure
Mitchell, check it out.
I'm sure later in life we'll be posting what settings we're using on our blow dryers to Facebook.
Yes.
While we're ironing their hair.
Next big thing.
So simple things in it. It heats up to 450 degrees. The LCD display. I said LED. Oh well, LCD's a little dated.
That's the other big thing with it is the 2-year warranty.
Yeah.
Like they're backing it up saying like we know it's going to work so well, we'll even say 2 years.
Yeah, and they used to only have a 1-year warranty, so I think having the 2-year warranty, their 1-year warranty was great. Anything ever happened, I know that we have Paul Mitchell blow dryers in the salon, and anything that's ever happened to them, they replace them right away. So having a 2-year warranty is great. The customizable auto shutoff we talked about, and then the 9-foot swivel cord, which is great. And the hanging loop, we use just a hook in the salon to hang everything to keep our station simple. So having that little hook on there is really nice as well. So They also have a few other tools. We'll just show those. I'm not going to go over each one. All kind of the same technology. If you guys want to hit on if there's anything else to do with them, but there's a lot. We have the Neuro Unclipped 1-inch rod. Yeah, let's not stack them all up. The Neuro Unclipped 1.25 cone, and then the Neuro Unclipped 0.75 cone. So, okay, other news, we have, I think this is hilarious. And Beth Minardi, I get it, making some money, but man, this is a flashlight for hair color. It's an LED flashlight, which nobody's hair looks good in LED lighting. Sorry, it's just the way it is. So LED flashlight for colorists. So I guess if you're coloring hair in the dark and you want to check it real close with a flashlight, then buy this. But it says Beth Minardi LED flashlight provides colorists and stylists precise color lighting when their lighting situation is less than perfect.
Like if the power's gone out and you're doing highlights by candlelight.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Like that one. So salon went out. Power went out in the salon one time, and we were rinsing hair with gallons of water in the back. That would be a great time to have this flashlight, I guess, if I wanted to tone her.
Yeah.
While they're going through with my gallons of water dumping on there, I could tone her as well.
Helping us stay thorough.
Yeah, if your salon's not well lit, I think that's seeing while you're doing your highlights is like the least of your worries.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So
or I guess seeing the tone after you're done. I guess that's what this is more for.
I would love to have a conversation and find out really the benefits of this or when you would use it. All I've done is read about it, and I have never used it. So if anybody has ever tried this and it's saved their hair color, please let us know. That would be great. But I just thought it's something else trying to take the industry, I guess, to...
It's a head scratcher. You see it and you just...
Yeah.
I need to, like you said, I need to talk to someone who has applied this and loved it, because I just look at it and go, when would I need this?
Yeah. So, but yeah, there it is. So Beth Minardi LED flashlight for coloring in the dark. So now we have the last little thing is 6 hottest hair trends of 2013. I'm just going to go through these real quick. Ombre hair color obviously was number 1. Dip dye hair color, which is really what I think is what happens when you mess up ombre.
Right.
But they're saying for young people, dip dye. Blonde or blonde. Oh, blonde. I get it. It's like blonde brown.
It's that weird, like you can't really call them a blonde.
For everybody who used to call them dirty blondes, they now.
Oh, I still have the flashlight up. Whoops.
Yeah. We
can get away from that. That's extra promotion. And then we also have bright hues, subtle streaks, washes of pastels. I like that.
I loved it. I loved that it wasn't just teenagers during crazy hair week in school anymore. Like I have a doctor that was getting little flashes here and there, teachers, all kinds of people getting pink, blues, greens, purples, and it's a lot of fun because it's the kind of stuff that you assume you're never going to be able to do once you graduate beauty school anymore.
Yeah.
And so I love that we've been able to do all of it.
And then platinum hair and balayage. So, it's all very obvious things, but those are what your guests are going to be looking for. So definitely, if you don't know the techniques, check out freesaloneducation.com because we put them on there for you so that you can learn them for free.
Doing balayage tonight.
Doing balayage tonight. So let's go through this celebrity. This has got to be really quick. We have Johnny Depp rocking some new hair. I'm not sure exactly what he must have something going on, but we actually did see this hairstyle quite a bit at the show this weekend. I got to be honest. Really orangey blonde hair, and it was parted down the middle. It was like a bowl cut. So, maybe it's on its way back. Maybe hairdressers are working on pushing it there, and Johnny Depp is, he's usually got some cool hair going on. So
it just reminds me though of the Sun-In days.
Yeah.
And people coming in and getting that fixed. But
Well, Johnny Depp, you never know what's going on. So
no, you really don't.
He do it because he's Johnny Depp.
Yeah, exactly. But I wouldn't recommend that to many people. No. And then we have, let's see.
Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum. What'd she do?
She is now sporting some straight across bangs that are just kind of wispy and fun, and I think it's a good look for her. Change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. I like that it's it has. I like the bangs. I wish there was a little bit more pieces around between like the final length and in between her chin, like just some pieces.
Some
in
face
there.
framing.
Yeah, a little bit of face framing. That would be easier way.
I think it's cute. I like it. She did a bang like this years and years ago. But what I like about this is if you really look there, I don't feel like her blonde has changed that much, but having the bang hides that little bit of a rooted look, which just makes her look blonder.
Yeah.
So I kind of dig that.
That's cool. That's a good point.
And I think it's cool because it changes her look without doing a dramatic length change for her.
Right.
So for your people who want more of a change but don't want to change anything.
Okay. And then we got this guy. Our salon day soon. Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson got married over the weekend, and I think it's
Good for her.
yeah, she's finally happy.
She's not going to be straight from the sidewalk anymore?
No.
That was her, right?
But I think I love her updo that she did for her wedding. Her upstyle is very soft, it's very romantic, and you're seeing a lot of these styles throughout the weekend, this past weekend, at the hair show, and I just liked it a lot.
Yeah, in terms of styling, and I was telling Drea when we were walking around, braiding. Like people,
huge, right?
Yeah, every single style you were seeing at the show was all braiding. So if you don't have your braiding skills put together, it's time to do that because people are going to be asking for it a lot. It's very, very popular. Videos that get the most hits on YouTube have braids in them. So
it's more cocktail braids too, of mixing two different types of braids
Yeah.
together, and the more braids the better. It's not just your cornrows or anything like that.
Right. Okay, and then last but not least, let's get away from Kelly. Is that what you're saying? Off of Kelly and back to us. Okay, so last thing, the two things I was thinking about for the salon owner and stylist tip is what do you focus on when you're really busy in the salon? Well, usually when you're really busy in the salon, it's your worst day that you've ever had. And what I mean by that is you get done at the end of the day, your rebooking's not good, your service per guest it starts lacking because of the fact that you're so busy, you're not focused on, you're just focused on getting through the day, you're not focused on keeping your book solid and focus on the key growth indicators. So just make sure that if you're having a really busy day that you work on focusing on the rebooking and just don't lose track of where you're going. when you're not busy, that's the other thing. And we talked about this earlier with handing out flyers. When you're not busy throughout the salon, throughout the week, it's not a chance to sit down and just go through Facebook and stuff, unless you're promoting yourself, but maybe get out and try to meet people and go to a different place for lunch. Try different things out that are gonna get you in front of new crowds. If you just go to Starbucks every single day and you've already got them as clients, then try something else that's gonna get you clients, so to build those relationships. That would be, my little tip of the day for that. What do you guys think?
I think on the slow days, when you do have your guests, whatever guests you do have that day, those should be the days that you sit there and you spend the extra time getting to know them, building more of that personal relationship. And I think on the really, really busy days should be the days that instead of focusing on, the extra stuff, that should be when you just focus on really yourself. Focus on making sure they've got the take home, make sure they've got the next appointment booked, make sure they've got whatever upgrade you can fit in there just to get. I think the busy days, instead of worrying about chatting while you're cutting, because you've got the whole time that you're cutting, the whole time you're blow drying, what else are you doing? Might as well be focusing on building yourself professionally.
Right.
And then build on them personally on the slow days.
Okay, cool. Couple minutes. What do you guys got?
I would say that on your slow days, you should definitely focus on getting your rebooking in, getting your guests accustomed to rebooking, and get them accustomed to knowing what products they need to take home with them.
Yeah.
So that way, on your busy days, they're the ones who are going to be initiating. Okay, I need to rebook for my next appointment. I need this hairspray. I need the shampoo.
So training them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
So that way they're already know that they need to do it.
Great.
I think everyone really touched on almost everything, but one of my favorite things on slower days is maybe talking to your guest about, they thought about making that extra change or adding those extra highlights in or switching their color around. And, that's when you really have the time to focus on them. Whereas, on our busy days, we're going through the motions, and when you have that person who's like, oh, I want, a dramatic change, and then you're trying to figure out, Brian convinces them no, but trying to figure out how you're going to make that happen. So I think, on those slower days, really focusing on them to be able to be all right, well, let's do what you want to do. Let's change it up a lot for you.
All right, cool. So I just want to thank everybody for watching. I know it's kind of a long time to watch a show and watch us kind of gabbing about salon industry stuff, but I hope you enjoy it. Please leave comments and questions down below. We always want to make these things better. We tried to make some adjustments from last week and change some things up. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Do you guys have anything left to say? I think we're good. I think we got clients or guests coming in. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please visit freesaloneducation.com. Follow us on Facebook, Gratitude Salon Education, and on Twitter @Salon Education. So hope you guys have a great day in the salon, and we enjoy chatting with you. Please leave those messages, and we will see you next week.
Thanks.